Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the Theme Park Evangelist. Before I do my discussion video for the day, I wanted to do my next How I Met Kay and TJ video again. And the reason why is because this time, unfortunately, I came down here and couldn't think of what I wanted to talk about as far as theme parks go. The only thing that I found out today about Disney or just in theme parks in general is that Disney is going to be reducing their hours over the next 2 months, and there will not be any fireworks over the next 2 months at Magic Kingdom whatsoever, or at Disney for that matter. Also, I found out that the 50th anniversary plaque just went up at Cinderella's Castle overnight, so that's exciting. So yeah, lots of work being put into the 50th this year, that's for sure. But unfortunately, that's the only Disney news that I have so far. Also, I could tell you guys that I am really, really sorry that my vlogs have been extremely boring over the past few weeks. I did lose another subscriber yesterday, as I expected it to happen sooner or later. Unfortunately, this was completely out of my control. This was the best that I could do due to the circumstances. I know I had promised you guys lots and lots of exciting YouTube content over the month, and unfortunately, I couldn't deliver. Sorry, I guess I got something on my face. I guess it's my dinner, and I didn't clean up myself very well. And I know I didn't deliver like I had promised you guys. Unfortunately, sometimes sicknesses and family situations do suddenly arise at the absolute last minute, and I mean, what are you gonna do if I just roll with the punches? As it is, I put a huge financial strain on myself right before my move, and I was like, no, I didn't want this. I mean, I lost so many hours just this month alone just because of everything that happened. It's insane. And, well, it's again, what am I supposed to do about it? The only thing I can do is pray and hope that God will get everything situated for me in the long run. So, that's pretty much all I could think about, but here's the good news before I officially get into my very first vlog for the evening. I know I'm starting a little later today. I went out and pulled out some money from my roommate, and then I came back and I cooked dinner. So, I mean, for the first time in a long time, I actually did cook dinner. I was like, why not? You know, I've been wanting spaghetti, and I wanted to cook it myself for once since I've had it. But what I wanted to tell you guys is Monday, my coworkers haven't, specifically coordinators, have invited me to go out with them to Lexington on Monday. I'm going to attempt to vlog while we're out there, and you know, for your patience for waiting for me to actually have something exciting to happen in my life, and trust me, I'm just as anxious to go back to normal as you guys are for my YouTube channel to go back to normal again. So, as a special treat, I would like to start out by going out to Lexington for you guys. I think that'll be truly exciting. There may not be a Grand Carnival vlog this year, unfortunately, due to everything that happened this month. Otherwise, there would have definitely been a Grand Carnival vlog, and it's not Kings Island's fault that I'm not going to be able to do it. It's called circumstances happen on my end that prevent me from going anywhere. The good news is I will still go and see Borderlands, and I will go and redeem that free fudge that I have before the end of August. So I am still going to do some things before it gets too late. So I got that going for me. More than likely, that will all happen over the next 2 weeks sometime. And I also am still going to go over to the Ark to do the whole 40 days and 40 nights, Lord willing, as long as they're not going to be monopolizing me now that I'm going to be able to come back to work, and I'm sure they miss having me around. But time will tell. I guess we'll see what happens when I come back. So let's get into this evening's How I Met Kay and TJ vlog. So this time I wanted to tell you guys about the time that TJ and I went to the opening day of Volcano Bay. So TJ and I had been wanting to go to Volcano Bay's opening day. There's only one other person that's been to a Universal grand opening day, and that was Kay. She went to the original park's grand opening day, and let's just put it this way. If everything went wrong that day, if everything was broken or not going right that day, that should have said something about how they were going to be like for the rest of their career as a park or as a theme park industry, which means that Islands of Adventure more than likely was like that. My parents actually went to Islands of Adventure's grand opening, which is I think is really really cool. And also, that was the same exact day they decided to go and see a show over at the original park called the Halloween Horror Makeup Show. And my mom actually got picked to go on the show, which I think is so cool. They typically only pick young women in their 20s. So the odds of me being picked to go on that show are absolutely zero. And the reason why is because they would see someone like me and know that for a fact that I would go up there and know that, like, in the back of my mind, none of it is real. And I do know that 100% for a fact. It looks real, but I know it's not real. So I probably wouldn't even flinch in the slightest. I would probably be just laughing, which is not what they want. Which is why they want that young woman reaction. But anyway, and then TJ and I, 4 years ago, went to Volcano Bay for its grand opening. So it sounds like almost everybody that I know, including myself, have been to a Universal grand opening. And that's the reason why I went into all that. So the original plan was TJ and I were supposed to drive out to Volcano Bay early that morning to attend the Volcano Bay's grand opening. They were going to do this whole ribbon cutting ceremony, the whole 9 yards, and they're going to do this special like dedication ceremony. Ironically, that was the same exact morning there was a really bad thunderstorm in Lake Wales area. So early that morning, I let TJ know. Hey, I think I even let him know like ahead of time. Hey, I got to take my brother to school this morning. So back then, of course, 4 years ago, my brother was 21. He knew how to drive, but he didn't have a car back then. My parents hadn't even let him their own car yet. We only had 3 vehicles at the time because I had just got my car like the year before. Well, actually, not actually. Yeah, it was almost a year ago. I had gotten my own car because I got it Memorial Day weekend, so May 27, 2016, if I'm not mistaken, which was right around the time that Pandora opened. So that would my car would just about to turn a year old. Anyway, so yeah, my parents only had a car each. My dad worked for Disney at the time. My mom was working at the school my brother was going to, so I had to be the one to take my brother to school that morning for whatever reason. I guess my mom couldn't take him or something, and I think my brother also had college later. I don't know. Anyway, the whole arrangement was I had to take my brother to school, and in order for me to be able to go to Universal that day. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I was really looking forward to going to the ribbon cutting ceremony and all that fun stuff. But, I mean, it is what it is. So I said to TJ, hey, you go ahead and go enjoy all that. And then meet me over at Disney Springs, and we'll just leave my car there. You can actually get away with leaving your car at Disney Springs, believe it or not, for the entire day. As long as it's like a slowish day, like say for example, um, it's kind of like not necessarily busy season, but it's not exactly slow season. You can actually get away with it. I wouldn't do it on a weekend necessarily, but you can technically get away with leaving your car in one of the parking garages as long as you get your car before 3 in the morning. That's the catch. Any car left after 3 in the morning gets automatically towed at the owner's expense. So just keep that in mind. But yes, you can technically get away with leaving your car for free inside of one of the Disney Springs parking garages all day long. And Disney doesn't even care. Technically, Disney does not really monitor those parking garages. Reedy Creek does, which is affiliated with Disney, but that's besides the point. So that's why I made that arrangement with TJ. Hey, I'll meet you over at Disney Springs, and I'll leave my car there. You and I can just jump in your car and go the rest of the way. At that point, you're almost already to Universal. So I was driving a good majority of the way, so I kind of drove out of my way just a little bit. I think I left my car over at the Orange Parking Garage. You can get away with leaving your car over in the Orange Parking Garage or Grapefruit, the new one. Ironically, I predicted that name. That's the stupid part. I actually predicted they're gonna name the fourth parking garage Grapefruit, and I was right. That drives me crazy. I should get paid for that because of the fact that I knew even before they're going to make a fourth parking garage that they were going to more than likely make a fourth parking garage, and they're going to call it Grapefruit. I was just like, well, since Disney seems to have an obsession with fruits, and they like to name all their parking lots and garages after random fruits, then they're probably just going to call the fourth one Grapefruit. I figured I would tell you guys that one as a funny joke. I wasn't sure if you would find it funny like I did. Just some random person that used to go to Disney every single year and all the time predicted Disney's next big move, which I think is funny, but anyway. So yeah, TJ and I left my car over at Disney Springs, and we drove the rest of the way. And TJ had already seen all that, so he's trying to build up the anticipation for me. And the first time I saw how everything worked, getting on the bus, and I had already seen the volcano several times from the interstate, so knowing I was actually going to be able to go and see it in person that day was exciting. And if you guys do remember from my last How I Met Kay and TJ vlog, I mentioned that how should I put this? Oh yeah, the very first Volcano Bay vlog that I ever did had over 1,000 views, but that doesn't necessarily mean everybody liked it. A lot of people disliked it. I think a lot of it had to do with the poor video quality, as well as the fact that I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. I really wanted to go there for the opening ceremony. Well, TJ was telling me in the car that he did attend the opening ceremony, and he didn't realize it right away, but he was standing right next to the Tim tracker, and he didn't see until after they were leaving that the Tim tracker was standing right next to him. And I guess Tim had already walked enough ways away from him that TJ couldn't stop and say hello to him. I actually did go back and watch that vlog after, and I did see that Tim had to go to work afterwards, and the other funny thing is, I did not see TJ anywhere, but yet TJ said he was standing right next to him, so I was like, okay. But it's too funny that TJ was standing right next to Tim, and neither of them knew it. It was just like one of those things, and I think Tim and I didn't meet until like the very next year, and the same thing with TJ. Because we've known Tim personally since 2018. Because I've already bumped into Tim twice. TJ knows him even better than I do. But, And TJ and I just kind of hung around Volcano Bay all day long. We did decide to get the food that day. I remember when we first got the whatever you call it, the tapu tapu. We did, of course, go over and try to get Krakatoa right away. The ride kept going down all day long, and when it did actually was working, it had over a 2 hour wait constantly. And every time we would get somewhat close, it would break down again. So we did other things, and we did go get lunch at one point. The lunch was really good. It was the very first time I had it. It was definitely very different from the parks for sure. I would say Volcano Bay is kind of a mix between their parks and their hotels. That's like the best way to put Volcano Bay. They definitely did something very different. I've actually done a YouTube video recently about why Volcano Bay is my favorite, so you have to go check that out. It's one of my more recent vlogs. In fact, I might actually attach that to the end of this video, so you don't even have to go look for that. Feel free to check it out, and then you can know from my perspective why I believe Volcano Bay is the best of all the Central Florida water parks. And I'm only going by water parks I've actually been to myself in Central Florida. So I've never been to Aquatica, and I've never been to Adventure Island. So I did not mention those whatsoever. But anyway, at one point, TJ and I got to talk to a news reporter, and we actually did talk to a live camera. Well, I don't know if we were being videotaped live at the time, or if they were just getting footage and they were just deciding, like, okay, who are we going to use and who are we not going to use. Because we never did go back, and we never were able to find it. I don't know if we were looking in the right spot or not, but I did remember who we talked to. It was like ABC. So I thought that was kind of cool. They actually did want to videotape us in front of the water slides to get an idea of, like, what have you guys been thinking about Volcano Bay so far? Like, have you been enjoying it? I'm not surprised the media was there that day. They want to know about the water park. They want to know what people think about it, especially with it being the opening day. Literally, the only thing we were really able to do that day was the Fearless River. The Lazy River was pretty much not working the majority of the day. I mean, people were able to ride it, but like a lot of the cool effects that were working when I took my brother, the day I took my brother, everything was working, obviously. Volcano Bay had been open for a couple of years at that point. But when I went with TJ on opening day, nothing was working on the Lazy River. The whole food system was very inconsistent, very inefficient. That was all stuff they fixed a couple of years later. And, I did make the comment to them that I had come there on opening day, and a lot of things were going wrong. A lot of the cabanas were still under construction. They said, yeah, we've definitely come a long way since then. I'm like, yeah, I can see that. And, I mean, I wasn't wrong, and I was definitely complimenting them in the sense that, yeah, they've definitely learned from their mistakes. And that's one thing I have to give Universal credit on, is the fact that they can learn quickly from their mistakes and just within a year or two. Because I did take my brother in 2019. At that point, they had been open almost 2 years. And yeah, of course, they're going to come a long ways in just that amount of time. And I would definitely say I was a lot more impressed in 2019 when I went with my brother than I was even like a month after Volcano Bay's grand opening. If this says anything, Guest Relations was telling me they had a consistent line going all day long about just constant complaints. Even TJ and I went up to Guest Relations. Everybody got comped a complimentary water park ticket to use any day that year, along with free parking. TJ and I used that another time, or at least I did. I don't remember. But I definitely found the used to go to use it. TJ and I came back later that summer, and we did hang out at the water park. And the sad thing is, I had accidentally overheated myself mowing the lawn earlier that day. So all I had to do was put myself outside a little bit longer without, hydrating myself enough. And after one ride on Krakatoa, I went bleh, which made me feel bad because I made Universal look bad in the sense that their rides are too intense. But that was not the case. Krakatoa actually is not that bad. Krakatoa is actually very fun. It's probably just as intense as Crush and Gusher is at Typhoon Lagoon, but I would definitely say it's more thrilling, that's for sure. But it's definitely something that everybody can handle, for sure. But unfortunately, due to the fact that I had been outside earlier that day mowing the lawn in the Florida heat, and I had not had enough liquids running through my body, and then I decided to go outside and be out in the heat again, and the fact that I was around the water, and sun reflects off of the water, yeah, that would do it. So, lesson learned, I did not have that issue later on when I came back for my third time with my brother. That was definitely a much better day overall. In fact, we pretty much didn't have to wait too long for anything. I think the longest we waited was an hour virtually for Krakatoa, but we got a lot done that day. And the best part is I didn't get sick. The line for the food went a lot quicker. No, I did not YouTube that day. But I did want to mention that story because of the fact that between the time when TJ and I went for the first time to the second time we went to my most recent time back 2 years ago, Volcano Bay has gone through a lot of positive changes, and I'm very happy about it. And that was just one of my, more favorite times that I ever went to Universal of TJ. The time we went to Volcano Bay together, it was a very interesting day. I think the next big story that I have for you guys will probably be right around the time that Pandora opened. Now, I'm not 100% sure when Pandora opened. I don't know. Well, I mean, obviously it opened right after Volcano Bay opened. But what I meant to say is, I'm not 100% sure when I first did that YouTube video. I don't know if I did it before I got hired by Disney or after. Because if I did it before I got hired to Disney, then my next vlog will talk about my experience going to Pandora with TJ and Kay, and I believe Artem too. Otherwise, I will go right into talking about the whole Disney hiring process, because that was kind of an interesting story. This is something I did not really talk about that much in my life as a working Disney cast member series. There's actually some stuff that happened prior to me getting hired at Disney that I did not cover in the Life as a Working Disney Cast Member series. And there's also a story behind it that I think you guys will like to hear. And that will be tomorrow evening between 5 and 7 again. That's when I've been doing all my YouTube videos. Trying to stay consistent, I'm going to try to think of a good theme park discussion vlog for you guys. And then otherwise, I will see you guys in the next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great night or evening, and peace out.